Alright, time to die the Hornet. Oh! No, man! No, that is... I wasn't serious, bro. I wasn't serious.
Are you... That has literally never happened! It has literally never happened in any of my like 20 plus fucking practice.
You're being very unkind.
Time to be a hitless runner. That is not... Wow.
Hello, hello. I'm Melissa, and I'm here to commentate this Staxis vs. Dunn match. I'm joined here by my awesome co-commentator, Throw. Say hi, Throw.
Hi.
And I'm really excited. We should be getting started soon. Well, we should be getting started soon, and Throw is going to remind me to start the timer on time. Right, Throw?
Yes, I'm going to remind you in approximately 1 minute when the runners start.
Yes. Okay. So for our runners here, we have Staxis, who is our 4th seed, and versus Dunn, who is our 29th seed. Staxis won 1 out of 3 seeding matches, and this is their first match in this tournament because they had a bye. Dunn did not win any of their seeding matches, but they had a very decided victory for the first match against literally Marceline. So they do have a victory under their belt. This is the winner's bracket, so no one will be out of the tournament from this match.
And yeah, I see, as OJ has mentioned, it's top left, bottom right, just looking at the board already, does look really strong. You have the Hornet 2 Shade Cloak synergy, and your opponent's not really going to want to go for Shade Cloak after you mark Hornet 2. You also got 15 grubs and 7 grubs in Crystal Peak, and Lantern is just Lantern. Whoever gets that goal gets it.
Okay, we're starting. I'm starting the timer.
Yep, start the timer.
Okay. Excellent. Now we can look at the board, and I can relax now that we started the timer. Okay, yeah, there's some really fun Shade Cloak synergy on this board that we might see. I haven't really looked for lines. I always like to look at the dive goals and see how many there are to see if it's a dive board. We have Obtain God Tuner.
Well, as you know, it's never a dive board.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. This is like...
Some Defender's like a half dive goal.
Yeah.
Because it helps a lot.
It does.
But yeah, there's not a whole lot of dive goals on this board. But if you get it, then you mean you have priority on top left, bottom right.
We have exactly 2 dive goals. Okay. I wonder if there's any incentive to open Queen Station on this board.
Well, I see Nosk and Hera. Though Hera, I mean, I guess you can go through Umu Bench.
That's
Umu
true.
Bench deck.
Umu Bench check.
You also have Love Key.
Staxis is grabbing money for the SAG. That could mean that they're just undecided whether they want to rush C-Dash or they might be committing to open Queen Station. We don't know this early, I guess. Done.
Yeah.
Did Done skip the rock? Wait, no, they didn't. They just got less geo.
It's still
We'll
not
see.
the end of the world, even if you have a little SGO in Aspid Arena.
It's
Just make
fine.
sure you pick it all up for as much as you can.
Okay. If you rush C dash, you're getting actually Lumify Lantern. Okay, done collecting.
CG1 and Priority Great Slash if you get Green Path Stag.
Yeah. Okay. So we do see both players having enough money for Crossroads Stag. So they do plan on
This
opening
indicates
that.
either Dive or Alyssa out
Yeah,
for both
or
players. Either
yeah,
that or they're just undecided for any percent yet.
yeah. You can, Marcus, you can definitely go through FSC and some other groups in the room. Through FCA. I don't know what FCA is. I'm.
Forgotten Crossroads Acid.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Alternatively, Fog Canyon Acid. It's
Okay. Okay.
both FCA and it's the same thing.
Okay. We'll see. I will be very surprised to see a false night kill here.
I agree. There's not enough dive goals to justify early dive.
Yeah. Yeah. And for Dreamnail, let me start Dreamnail goals.
I think that's it. Yeah, I really don't like Dreamnail on this board.
Give a little advantage on Nail 3, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, there's like
Nail 3 and Pararevic 3 times does kind of synergize, but that's about the extent of it.
Yeah. I'm rushing TLVR on this board, not gonna lie. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't blame you.
As long as you get Lantern, I'd say so, yeah.
I feel like you're more likely. I think row 1 is a little bit better, potentially. That's because 7 Grubs and Crystal Peaks is just awful.
Well,
Okay.
that's exactly the point. You get
Mhm.
Hornet 2, Lantern, and 15 Grubs, and you force your opponent to do 7 Grubs and Crystal Peak and get dive for the very few dive goals on this board.
True. Staxis and Dunn both skipping False Night, which was we are very unsurprised by. They're actually not like Dunn isn't actually too far behind. Staxis is very, very fast. So it's good that Dunn is kind of keeping up with them.
Yeah, Staxis has a lot of practice in, well, doing early game by being such a good runner.
Yeah. Well, they're I think they're usually a glitch runner. I think they have the world record in what is it? Glitches? What is the category?
I don't know any of the glitch terminology.
Yeah, someone in chat can help me out, but I'm pretty sure they hold a world record in glitched runs. But I'm sure someone in chat knows better than me. Saxis has world record in true ending AG until today. Okay. Done picking up Soul Catcher. Saxis also picked it up and equipped it.
We do like seeing Soulcatcher being picked up even if it's not on the board.
Yeah, I like Soul Catcher. I'm
Always
a Soul
make
Catcher
Green Path
believer.
just a little bit easier.
True. I
Okay,
do.
Staxis also has any % all glitches, apparently.
Okay, so access also. Okay, excellent. So I do expect both players to kill Vengefly King on this board, especially because Vengefly King, Massive Moss Charger, is on the board and requires it. I'd like to see them open Green Path Stag potentially, if they're having a decent
Yeah, I
Green
wouldn't
Path.
hate Green Path Stag.
For its Great Slash and Pay 6 tolls, which are both on the same line. All my goats grabbed spilled OJ. All my goats grabbed Soul Catcher. True. Okay, so Python
Has world
Staxis.
record on any % all glitches, any % no main menu storage, and low % all glitches, and second place in CSC latest patch, no major glitches.
Great.
I don't actually know what CSC is, but I mean, Seems like a pretty good portfolio to me.
Yeah. Staxis has been
Full of shade cloak.
practicing quite a bit for this match. Not necessarily in the Bingy server, but I know they've been practicing a bit with Gory. Nailing that fireball skip. We'll see if Dunn can get it. Nice.
Looks like he can. I actually noticed we don't have Dunn's pronouns.
Yes, they're on. They said they preferred not having Dunn's pronouns next to their name on when asked.
Okay, that's fair enough.
But yeah, Saxa is gonna enter the Boss 8 arena, and Dunn is struggling with Manpogo and has to go around, which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunate bit of time lost there on the Sky Skip. Hi, Blom.
That I'm the restreamer and the commentator. So
Double cute, I guess.
I guess so. Saxis will be killing Vengefly King.
Getting the quick kill.
Nice. Done and making their way up through Green Path. We'll see if they do Moss Knights. Saxis is gonna kill Moss Knights. I think that means that they're gonna open Green Path Stag.
Green Path Stag, yeah, because this gets you enough geo to open both Green Path Stag and Queen Station Stag with no issues.
Yeah. We are skipping the grub, which is fine. I personally like that grub, but
it's enough.
Yeah. Well, I think later. It's just 15 grubs on the board.
Yeah, but you have Green Path Stag. You can come back later if you want.
Very true.
Dunn is on 1 HP.
I
know how you feel about Hornet on 1 HP.
I do not like it, but they're probably gonna grab the journal and they might heal off the Fool Leader. Yeah, that's why Moss Knights always makes me nervous, because I see players sink a lot of health into it. Did Staxis grab the journal?
Staxis, I think, did grab the journal and is on 2 HP as well.
Great. I love stressful Hornet fights.
It almost looked like Dunn was going to pick up the journal while the Fool Leader was still alive.
We're going to heal, right, Dunn? Right?
I hope so.
We're going to heal, right, Dunn? Right? Okay, we're taking a double heal. I appreciate it. They do have Green Path Stag open, so a death isn't the worst.
It isn't the end of the world.
Okay.
Yeah, I've died once in Green Path, to Hornet when I had Green Path Stag. You just go back to Crossroads Stag and you're fine.
Staxis with a very clean Hornet fight, in my opinion, and picking up Dash. And
according to Marcus, Staxis picked up the journal before getting Green Path Stag, which is inefficient.
Yeah. Okay. We should let them know that. I'm sure they would appreciate that. They might watch back this match after and get the tip. Yeah, they're always really open to feedback, which is what I really appreciate about them.
Yeah.
I play Among Us with Staxis a lot. Let's see if they bench Leg Eater. Nope, no benching Leg Eater. I respect it. I
don't mind it. It just means you're gonna have to find some way to get Wellick for enough geo.
Well, they can just go back to Crossroads Stag and get it.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, and
a little bit of time lost, but not the end of the world.
Yeah, it's fine. So I think this will give. Let's see. If Dunn is gonna bench Leg Eater. Nope, neither benching Leg Eater. Wait, nope, we're going benching Leg Eater.
Going back.
I like this from Dunn. I think Staxis is going to have priority on Lumify Lantern, Crystal Guardian, and Great Slash. Okay. Oh, Staxis nailing Epogo. I think first try. And Dunn will have priority on the Deep Nest goals and 6 tolls.
And And I see
Very-
Blom mentioning that Staxis apparently doesn't save enough grubs, so we'll see
Oh.
how that plays out on this board.
15 grubs on the board, so we'll see. They are picking up Claw. Let's see how Dunn does with Epogo. Okay, first try. I bet they're proud of that.
Yeah, I bet that's at least going to fill them with some confidence here that they didn't, mess up on Epogo and save a bit of time. Not going for Mantis Pogo. Oh, no,
They are. You know what? I'm proud of Dunn. They've been nervous about that skip, and they haven't felt confident. And I haven't seen it. They haven't seen them feel as confident about that skip in any of the seeding matches.
Yeah, I mean, that looked pretty decent.
Yeah. Now they're warping back to Leg Eater and going to open Queen Station. That will put them
Queen Station will
at...
give priority for MMC and VFK. And yep, 6 tolls, as well as any deep nest goals that are early deep nest. So, 6 talking devouts, really. And yeah, Nosk.
Should be pretty good.
Yeah, I think Queen Station isn't terrible on this board.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think I like Staxis's play better, but I think as done, if you know that you're playing someone who's faster, you don't want to be doing the same things as them.
Yeah, I agree, because you are fairly certain you're probably behind unless something catastrophic has happened.
Yeah.
So you kind of just want to do something a little different so you can have priority on different things.
Yeah, exactly. Done at picking up Spore Seal.
Pretty good
And
movement.
Staxis about to buy. See if they buy Shaman. They might buy Shaman. And about to Shade Skip.
Looks like we are getting Shaman.
Yeah, Shaman will be useful for all the Hornet 2 synergy and the Devouts. Yeah, and they're gonna Shade Skip across Blue Lake.
Yeah, I really hate doing devouts without upgrades and without Shaman Stone. It's not fun.
Yeah. Okay. Done sagging to Crossroads. I think they're
Also, yes, it's
realizing
fine.
they
It
didn't
was the
get
Shaman
Wellick,
as a goal.
but I don't think they need it. But it definitely is more comfortable money-wise to have Wellick
Yeah.
if you're
I
doing...
don't remember if Staxis got Wellick.
I think they did. I think
Having a bit of a difficult Blue Lake Shade Skip.
Yeah, that Shade is not being a friend. Yeah, I don't see Staxis getting Dream Nail at all here.
Yeah.
You're just
Dream
not
Nail's
cashing
worth
in
it on this board.
anything like anytime soon.
I mean, at least you can hide it, but you're basically giving up priority on Lantern and CG1.
Yeah. Maximum statistics. What does maximum statistics mean?
I have absolutely no idea.
Gory keeps saying it in
I saw
chat.
it in the chat earlier.
Is that Staxis? Is it maximum statistics? I don't know. Okay. Now Kara is saying it too. Great. Staxis is picking up the Any Percent Journal. Skipping Dream Nail as expected. Done also buying Shaman Stone and preparing to Shade Skip. Okay. Staxis picking up the Hollowness Seal above King Station. Done rescuing Sly.
And preparing for the Shade Skip.
Minimum statistics.
I think it's got to be something based off of Staxis' name.
Yeah, that's what my thought was. Staxis doing G-Husk. We'll see if I don't think Dunn will get Dream Nail either.
Good Blue Lake Shade skip, and yeah, I wouldn't like to see Dreamnell from Dunn, even though he can probably guess he's behind. Probably for the best that he doesn't go for it.
Dunn has actually been playing pretty well. I don't think they've had too many mistakes. I think they missed Man Pogo, which was unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean it's mainly just because of the route.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
No Dreamnail and skipping the lever. A lot of people actually go for the lever even if they're not opening resting grounds to go to their to Dreamnail.
I kind of see, I understand not skipping it because when realistically are you using that lever?
Yeah.
Like never.
The only time you're using that lever is if you're going into resting grounds. Using that lever and then not going into resting grounds is just time loss. You can't really afford if you're racing to stuff like Lantern or C-Dash.
Yeah. Nice.
Nice early control on any percent journal. And
That was
also right side rafters.
That was the second right side rafters of the tournament. The first being Choom. Okay, so we should see Staxis locking in their first goal soon after selling to Lem.
Yes, first goal Lantern is incoming very soon.
Let's
Looks
see.
like they have plenty of Geo.
Yep. They definitely picked up Wellick. Wiggles.
We love Wiggle strats.
Okay, Dartmouth, second to Dartmouth, and I think this should potentially indicate to Dunn that Staxis didn't go quote unquote Alyssa route.
Yeah,
because
Dunn should realize this as soon as it gets mucked.
Because they haven't been playing they haven't been very slow where Staxis could have done Alyssa the entirety of Alyssa route and been 40 seconds ahead.
Yeah, this is 100% indicating that this is any percent route.
Yeah.
Opening the Mila lever, even though Mila's not on the board.
I approve. We can still kill her.
Seems like muscle memory.
We can still kill her. Good.
I
mean, it's good because if they want to rescue that grub later too.
Yeah.
So that'll be open at least. So it's not the worst. We'll see if they rescue any grubs and peaks, since crystal peak grubs are on the board.
Looks like we're going for Pogax and
we got
getting
Pogax.
lucky.
Yeah. Right side
We love
rafters
gambling.
and Pogax. Okay, they are choosing to
Well, I
rescue
mean,
the crystal.
one
peak
of those
grub.
is more gambling than the other.
True.
It's like we're going for the elevator.
Yeah, Dunn saying no to any kind of raptor skip.
I mean, left side rafters is consistent. I think it's worth learning. It's just a nice 7 seconds, but I can understand not going for it.
I think Dunn hadn't played Hollow Knight in a while before this tournament. So I understand it prioritizing other skips.
Yeah, other more important skips that happen later game.
Yeah. Okay. Staxis healing off the guy near the King's Idol.
And selling and having lots and lots of Geo. And here comes CG1.
Honestly, I think I would have liked to see potentially Vengefly King and Massive Moss Charger and 6 tolls from Dunn. Since Lantern already got marked. You're not winning to CG1.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate getting a bit of a later C-Dash.
And just getting a couple goals.
Yeah. Who knows, he might go for it now.
Let's see. Let's see if we go Queens. No, I think Dartmouth.
Probably a mistake. Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer just getting a couple goals that you have priority on. Because Staxis is really fast, and they might just go for these 6 toll goals and Vengefly King Massive Moss Charger after getting C-Dash.
Yeah, I wouldn't have hated going for the Green Path bench toll and getting the Hallowness seal there.
Yeah.
That's a pretty fast toll. An extra Geo.
I think Dunn has Queen, Kings, Crossroads. Queen, Kings, Crossroads.
Peak toll.
Peak toll
and green path.
and green path.
that's
So they
5.
only need one more. Well, Staxis has 4 now, so they need 2 more.
Yes, because no queens. Underplat.
VFK, MMC, Beskel, Python, True, Pet Mossy.
So true.
Okay, done at making
C
their
dash has been
way.
obtained, and so Staxis now has the entire world available.
Yes. They might lock in Great Slash really quick, or they might go for tolls.
I mean, if you're Staxis in this position, you have absolutely no idea what Dunn has done.
True.
Funny. Looks like we're selling to Lem to get the Geo from the King's Idol.
Yeah, a good play. Done will be picking up Crystal Heart shortly.
Did we get Shopkeeper's Key? I didn't see.
I assume they did. I hope they did.
Yeah.
I think just get Shopkeeper's Key. I think it's just never worth skipping.
Yeah, because once you need it, you won't have it.
Okay. Yeah, I
You
think
didn't
Staxis.
get Shopkeeper's Key?
They didn't. Oh. Well, I mean, I don't think you technically need it for anything on this board, but
It's nice to have.
it's nice to have easy access to Shade Soul.
Yeah, just in case you need it.
Okay, so yeah, Staxis is gonna open the tolls in city. I do expect that. I'm not expecting a dive play.
I think Staxis skipped the grub.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty. Maybe they're really nervous about this goal.
Maybe. Also could be getting Twister.
Yeah, it could be a Twister play too. We'll see if they
Staxis saved the grub, okay.
they did save the grub.
I'm just blind.
Okay. Okay, yeah, it's a tools play. That's only 5 tools. Okay, so we are getting.
If I'm done here,
dive.
I think I rush another toll. Make sure that I get the goal.
Yeah. And Staxis, I would rush that too, but they're going for dive.
Well, going for the Twister, not
Yeah, it could be. It
necessarily
could be.
dive.
Yeah, it could just be a Twister quit out. True. Let's.
I think it's the play considering the dive goals on the board. That being said, top left, bottom right is always a thing.
Yep. Okay, I've starred all of the goals that this will give Staxis advantage on. See, if you had Great Slash, you wouldn't.
Need to suffer through this? Yeah.
You wouldn't need to suffer through this.
Looks like Dunn is going for Great Slash now. Which I
Okay.
absolutely do
Okay.
not hate,
is
because you're kind of sniping a goal that Staxis should have had priority on.
Yeah, no, I like this a lot. This will be kind of surprising to Staxis, I think. I think they might they have no idea what Dun's been doing, so I think they're just potentially blocking lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
think Dunn
expected a
will be
spell
relieved
twister
to
quit
see
out.
Twist the Shaman mark.
There's been many times I've expected a spell twister quit out where the person has gotten dive.
Just like in my game.
Exactly. Okay, we're getting.
So now we're about to get Great Slash.
Which will be Dun's
And-
first goal.
Looks like Staxis is going to FCA.
Yeah, I think we're going to do some Umu bench tech. My favorite.
I do like Umu bench tech on this
Umu,
board. There's a
yeah.
lot of things that it helps with.
Yeah, for this Umu bench tech is where you bench at Umu and then you can basically go and do Vengefly King, massive Moss Charger. Oh, that was
dying.
it. That was a death.
Yeah. Reminds me of a certain someone's death by upslashing Umu. Well, not Umu, but an Uma.
Yeah. It's okay. They're still should have priority on those goals. I don't think. Oh, I think actually Dun might go in. They're gonna, I think, open that toll that you were
Get
talking
6
about in
tolls,
Green
yeah.
Path.
I really like this toll, actually, if you have Green Path Stag.
Yeah. If you're already there,
Nice.
yeah.
It's only 50 geo.
6 tolls. Okay, this might actually.
We could actually very easily rush row 3.
That is true. This is definitely gonna put on some row 3 pressure. So we'll see if Staxis listens to the advice I gave them before the tournament.
Which was?
If there's a goal that you can do in like a minute that will block a line, just do it.
Well, I mean, there's not really any goals that only take a minute on this board for
Or like
blocking
a
row
few
3.
minutes.
Yeah, Hornet 2 is probably the best one to go for because you also get priority on Shade Cloak and Abyss Shriek.
Yeah. Okay.
But Pulse Knight Brooding Mork is probably the fastest. Looks like we're getting BFK here for done.
Mm-hmm.
I actually really like this, going from the 6 tolls the bench toll into MMC.
Yeah, I like that too.
I think Dunn is making actually really good decisions in this match.
Yeah.
And Staxis once again struggling in Fog Canyon.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think Staxis was going to use Queens as his 6 toll, but then they weren't able to get it in time.
Yeah, because of the death.
They
I
have-
think if I'm done here, I am doing, False Knight Brooding Mork. I don't mind this.
Okay. Yeah, and if I'm Staxis, I might do
Might go for Hornet too.
I might do Hornet too.
Because if I'm done, I don't necessarily know how good Dunn is at combat, so I don't know if Dunn is able to do Hornet 2 with this kind of gear, but I'm fairly certain Staxis is able to. But it looks like Staxis is going for False Knight Brooding Moloch, so this could be
Be a
really bad
race.
for Staxis.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish Staxis had opened the city storerooms toll earlier. I think that would have
Yeah.
put a lot less pressure on them.
I think Staxis should be going for Hornet 2 here because it helps with TLBR, which, I mean, could very easily be going for.
Yeah.
But I think that if Dunn can manage to mark False Knight Brooding Moloch before Staxis is going to put him in a really good position.
Yeah, I think they'll have a lot of line pressure for sure. Maybe Dunn is
Skipping the
secretly an
Geochest.
ACN legend. And we'll snipe Staxis to every goal in that row. Yeah, I definitely prefer Hornet 2 from Staxis in this point. But also I have just way more information, so it's a bit rough.
Yeah, you do know that Dunn is ahead on
Yeah, I
False
do
Knight
know.
Brooding Moloch by a pretty decent margin.
So I do have caster bias. I just like Hornet 2 because of the TLBR that was pointed out when we started the stream. Okay. Staxis grabbing the geotest.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, see if how Moloch will be.
I don't expect any issues. You have Shaman Stone VS.
Yeah.
That being said, there's understandably a lot of pressure on this because you don't know if Staxis is going for this goal or not.
True.
So you don't know how fast you have to play.
Okay, so I think it marked just
There's
as
the
they
mark.
put out. Yep. And we're gonna see.
Staxis is going for King Station.
Well, I think both of the goals they need to do are Kings related. Okay, I think we're doing Dung Defender.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I think it's gonna
Could
be
have just been
a
off, but
reverse spike
Maybe.
tunnel into Dung Defender.
yeah. I think Dunn should take this time to try to do Hornet 2. And actually, I would really not hate a Hornet 2 quit out without getting without getting the King's Brand.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think either is fine. Okay, come on. Oh, this
Okay,
is
it does look like
nerve-wracking
we're
to
going for
me.
Dumb Defender for both of them.
Yeah. I think
Or
Dunn
not.
is gonna or let's see what Dunn is doing.
Grab some Geo, maybe?
Oh, they seem very undecided.
There's no way we're going for dive here, right?
I never know anymore. Like, I wouldn't think that going for dive is like a great play, but
Well, we're taking this bench here.
okay. Well, okay. So Staxis is going to be
Doing Dung Defender.
doing the Dung
Hopefully
Defender
we don't
fight.
get. Hopefully we don't get Dung Defender stuck underground because Dung Defender is evil and wants you to lose the goal.
Yes. Done is okay.
Maybe going for the grub?
And maybe they're going for the simple key also.
Oh, true.
It could be a simple key play.
Yeah, looks like it. And I guess if you get City Storm Stag, it does help with dive in the future if that's ever what
Yeah.
we're getting.
Yeah, I like that stag. I prefer going through the other way. It's
I
just,
mean, I just prefer getting Hornet too.
oh no, sorry. I meant I prefer done. If they're gonna open City Storm Stag, I would just open it from the corner for the way. I cannot
Yeah.
tell with Staxis' UI how many health they're on, and maybe I appreciate that. I could just be less stressed out.
Staxis is on 3 health.
Done. This is key room. This is death key room. You need to have some health.
Oh, looks fine. I'm confident with 3 health here. Hopefully done is. Good pogo. Ooh.
Oh, don't. Okay. Oh no.
Well, Dung Defender is now marked.
This is certainly a death. This
Oh,
is certainly a key room
okay,
death.
well, we picked up the key.
Yep. This is certainly a key room death.
I think Staxis is probably expecting a Hornet 2 mark here. Actually, though, I don't necessarily hate that because you do get the simple key for Dreamnail, Poggythorax, and Blue Child Joni if that's what you're going for in the future.
That's true, and you also need it for God Tuner.
Yes.
Okay, so Staxis having blocked row 3 is gonna, I think, proceed on their original plan of Umu.
Looks like it.
I think they definitely planned to do that earlier, but then with all the row 3 pressure, they decided
had to do something about it.
Yeah.
I think we're just going back to get the Shade and potentially City Storm Stag.
Yeah, I think City Storm Stack is a good grab.
If no player gets aligned, then it's first to 13 goals.
Okay.
I'm expecting a 3 cycle from Staxis because 2 cycle on current patch I don't really think is doable.
They don't have Dreamnail also, which is rough.
No Dreamnail Umu does suck. And current patch on top of that, yeah, it's a 3 cycle if you're good. And no double hits. Ouch.
Okay, I wonder where Dun is heading. They
might
had
sell to
benched
Lamb.
at Lurian.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Staxis. I'm
It's
trying
okay.
to just.
Staxis is on 4 health.
Okay. Yeah, so Kara is saying in chat that QL makes Umu have a lot less health.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Okay. Done selling the King's Idol. They now are 2,000. They have 2,000 Geo. Let's see what they do with it.
Mad Chatter, QOL forces Umu RNG to be the best RNG possible.
Okay, nice. Got an Umu mark. Wait, okay. Okay, we have an Umu mark.
I think Staxis hasn't seen Hornet 2 now, maybe goes for it.
I like a Hornet 2 from
Staxis.
Staxis. I like Hornet 2 from Staxis. I'm not sure what their plan is.
We're just getting grubs.
It could be grubs.
Maybe not.
I
can't really think where they're going now. Something in Crossroads. Oh, Fragile Heart, Greed, Strength.
Fragile Heart, Greed, and Strength. That's it, yeah. Yeah, they have the perfect amount of money for it. I think the only other money goals on this board are nail 3 and potentially obtain God Tuner as it requires a simple key.
Yes, and 15 grubs will help a lot with that. It looks
That's
like
true.
Don is going for Dream Nail now.
Yep. I'm okay with your Dream Nail for done, but I think I would prefer Hornet too.
Absolutely, Hornet 2 is just so strong on this board. Just because of the location of it. Blocks all of Staxis' good lines.
I think, yeah, Hornet 2 into Pale Lurker also. That's pretty good. Okay. So Fragile Heart, Greed, and Strength.
That
Let's
being said,
see.
Road 2 is starting to look a little scary.
Yeah, I think we're seeing grubs from Staxis.
So maybe Dream Nail isn't so bad because it does stop
Okay.
Dream Nail, Polythorax, and Blue Child Journey.
I think this will be Dream Nail from Staxis as well. I think they're just gonna rescue a couple grubs along the way towards 15
Yeah.
grubs. Yeah. 5 grubs rescued for Staxis.
Don't know how many Dunn has. I haven't been counting.
I don't.
That being said, Dunn has been very silent on goals, so Staxis has not a lot of information to go off of.
I just realized Dun's screen is a bit.
So Dunn is grabbing Dream Nail and Staxis is going for Dream Nail. So I would like to see as soon as possible some kind of either Parry Revic 3 times or Dream Nail, Polythorax, and Blue Child Journey from Dunn.
Yeah, I agree. I think
Probably Dream Nail, Polythorax, Blue Child Journey first because that blocks both of Staxis' lines there.
yes.
And
for
then
sure.
after that, Hornet 2.
The layout should be fixed on stream, hopefully. I did
Yeah,
a
looks
little bit of
good.
editing. Okay. Okay, dream. Yeah. So I think Dunn now is definitely going for Blue Child Joni's pod. So that's good. They can also kill Gorb while they're here, so that's synergy for Perry Revic.
Yes. And then after Gorb, you can go for 0.
That's true. Yeah.
And Staxis is
randomized.
still more stuck in the Dream Nail cutscene, so.
Yeah.
And missing the platform.
Okay.
I don't actually know what randomizer changes about Dream Plats.
Okay, let's see if Dunn kills Gorb here.
I'd like to see it. I hope so.
And we are not getting Gorb.
Looks like
no
it.
Gorb.
Nope. Okay.
I like Gorb here.
I do like Gorb as well.
At least they know they probably have a simple key advantage.
Yeah.
They must be very nervous about row 2.
I mean, understandably, because obtaining God Tuner can kind of come out of nowhere.
Yeah. So Staxis will probably do Gorb here, I think.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if Staxis didn't.
I think both of them are worried about Hornet 2 getting sniped, I think, potentially.
Yeah, and so neither of them are going for it, which is kind of funny.
Okay. Okay, Done picking up Joni's Blessing and then stepping to the left and then Dream Nailing Joni, which I think is...
Well, I sure hope that whoever does parry Revic is at least, knows how to parry Revic by doing the // strats. So many
True.
people I see don't do it.
Okay, we will be getting Gorb from Staxis. They have no reason not to do Gorb in this situation.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Went too low.
Yeah, this will be a really strong mark for Dunn because it will block 2 very threatening lines from Staxis. So yeah, I understand skipping Gorb for Dunn. Okay. Staxis should be grabbing the essence. And probably proceeding on to Blue Child Joni, since they don't know what we know, that Staxis is right about to market. At least it won't be a lot of time sunk into it. I kind of expect
and you
them.
can just immediately warp out, no hard save.
Yeah. Okay, they're getting the King's Idols first too. That's
Wow,
great.
Dunn remembers where Blue Child, well, where Polythorax is.
I think it's been in
Even
one
I
of their
struggle to remember that
matches.
sometimes.
So yeah, Staxis not able to just go grab the idol and not even bother with Blue Child or with Dream Nailing Blue Child Joni.
And we're going for 0 now. So
Yeah, we're
getting the
going for
parry
0.
3 times.
That actually makes complete sense because as Staxis, you now know that Dunn has Dream Nail and has been to Cliffs. So you kind of want to lock that in as soon as possible.
Yes.
Yeah, that King's Idol will give them some slight advantage towards Nail 3.
I feel like you're not really getting Nail 3 if you're not going to Kingdom's Edge, though, and getting Pale Lurker.
True.
Clean 0 kill, and looks like we're going to Deep Nest.
Yeah,
Dunn only has 2 grubs.
Okay. Let's see all the Deep Nest goals that they'll get priority on. So...
Well, I think Dunn is going to win to Hera, so I don't think that necessarily Staxis is going to win by BLTR.
Yeah. So, I think I've started all the Hive or all the Deep Nest goals, I think. Shouldn't be.
Yeah, looks like it.
Mass Shard and Hive, Hera, Nosk, kill 6 Stalking Devouts. It's a good play from Dunn.
Yeah. It does block the remaining lines. Especially Hera. Hera's a good one.
Well, it doesn't block the top left TLBR.
Yeah.
Well, it'll help
that's
if you
why
rescue
I'd like
some
to see
grubs.
Hornet too, but...
Yeah, I mean, they just bench there, so if Staxis just decides to go for it, they're going to lose.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Not done going to fight. Well, changing their mind. They were there. They just opened the Nosk wall. Okay, I think we are going to see Staxis going to pick up Love Key, potentially into Deep Nest, potentially.
Yes,
I don't think
I
there's...
hope we see immediate Hera from Dunn. I'd say that's the most important goal on this board.
Yeah. With Revik, BLTR is scary, but TLBR is still scary with Hera. Yeah, I agree. I like Hornet too. A lot.
I think we can. I think we can maybe afford to do some Stalking Devouts, but definitely not like all of them. Should do the rest of them in Hera, I think.
Yeah.
Like do 2 or 3 outside of Hera, and then just do the rest in Beast Den.
From my awareness, I think Staxis is on 1. Okay, now they're on. They've healed up to 3, so I think they missed QGA a few times. I don't think it was the first try.
Yeah.
But they did eventually get it.
I do hope that Dunn doesn't go for all the Stalking Devouts.
Yeah.
Farming the Weaver for Soul, that's good strategy.
Honestly, if you're Staxis and you see a Hera mark, you know they're not fighting Hornet too. So you can just go and do that.
That being said, escaping from Hera isn't that slow.
Yeah, it's not that slow. And Dunn has plenty of money for the
go there now.
Yeah. And Staxis making their way through QG for Love Key. Most likely it's going to be Love Key.
Yeah, it looks like Love Key. And Dunn is skipping a lot of the Devouts, so looks like we're going straight to Hera. And we're going to beat Staxis to Hera if Staxis tries to go for it. It looks like just Love Key.
Yeah, it'll come at a good time. The mark will come at a really good time, though, for Staxis. They'll be locking in a goal. We'll see. Staxis attempting the Love Key acid skip. It's been a
I really hate this acid skip because one, it puts you so far away, and two, the collision is really weird for the acid. I wonder if Dunn is going to kill as many devouts as he sees.
We'll see. Okay, Staxis really struggling with this acid skip.
To be fair, okay, once
Okay.
Staxis marks this goal, though, Dunn is going to have a bunch of information and can go really as slow as he likes in Beast Den.
Yeah.
So it kind of comes at a good time for both of them.
Love Key.
Picking up the Hellenist Seal? Nope, we're not. We're skipping it.
Nah, we don't need nail 3.
Yeah, it totally won't come down to it eventually.
We don't need nail 3. Okay, Love Key marking for Staxis.
Yeah,
And I
so
think
Dunn
they-
now has a ton of information, can go really slow.
Yeah, I think Staxis is going to head further into Deep Nest. I do expect once we see a Hera mark or a 6 Devout mark for Staxis to quit out.
Well, we only have 3 devouts as Dunn,
Yeah,
so
it'll probably be Hera then. They might stick around to kill the rest of them. But I mean, I wouldn't recommend it because of the TLBR, but it's okay.
yeah, I mean Hornet 2 is just scary. I feel like we might end up with Staxis getting stuck in Beast Den, depending on when this Hera mark comes in.
Yeah, that is so true. This could be really bad for Staxis, but I think they're not gonna get stuck. I think Den might get it. Actually, I don't know.
I'm not sure because Staxis is very close to it now.
Oh, this is so rough. Oh, and Den is gonna kill the Devout. No,
Yeah,
never mind.
Okay, well, we're still killing the upper one.
Oh, this is so close. Oh,
Wow, the quick kill.
the Hera mark just in time. Just in time for them to not get hard saved.
Very, very lucky.
Yeah.
I think we're going for Hornet 2 now because we
Yeah.
know that Dunn is not going for it.
Yep. Sag into Kings. We'll see. Sometimes I don't like making predictions because then they just do the exact opposite of what I said. But okay, we're doing it. It's Hornet 2 or Pale Lurker, but they don't have Shade Soul, so I don't think they'd try that.
You think
Yeah.
they can't do walk forward and press the Shade Soul button without Shade Soul?
Yeah, you can't do that. You have to do steps 1 through 8 of my tutorial first.
So true.
Life-saving Love Key. Yeah, actually, that's funny.
That is very funny, actually. Yeah.
Staxis is missing out on Love Key a few times actually saved them from getting hard saved in Hera with no chance of getting a goal. Okay. Staxis just struggling with acid skips this game. Very unfortunate.
I think Dunn just doesn't know where the midwife devout is. Or doesn't know that it exists or something. I hope it's not Nosk.
I think they're trying to lock in 6
Staxis
Devouts. They've
died
already
to
killed so
ACN.
many. Yeah. Okay, 6 Stalking Devouts marked for done, and we're at 8 to 7. But I think Staxis has blocked every line for done. While Staxis still has TLBR and row 5.
I'd say this match is actually really close, considering.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay,
Maybe
Staxis.
this is a Nosk mark. Looks like we're going to hit ACN on this one.
Okay, yeah, we did it. Nice
Skipping
job,
the shade?
Staxis.
No, we're going back.
Yeah, I think we want our shade for Hornet too.
Yeah, no shade Hornet 2 is scary.
It's gonna be so nerve-wracking in these tournament matches doing these like really hard skips.
Yeah. It's understandable screwing them up.
Yeah.
Ooh, 1
Please.
HP.
Oh my gosh. Don't.
Oh, Prime Last Bid.
I can't watch.
Well, this is actually
What is
really
this?
scary.
Okay, it's out.
Okay,
we're gonna
we're good.
heal. We're gonna safety bench. Okay, this is gonna be definitely King's Brand then.
Yes, I mean, I think if you don't safety bench here, you're a lunatic.
Yeah.
Looks like we're going tram pass for done, but you
Yeah.
can't warp out of it, so
Well, they're yeah.
you're benched at Hera.
Are they still benched at Hera? Okay, they have plenty of money
Yeah,
for
they're
the
not hard
Stag, so it's
saved
not
at Hera, but
worse.
they're benched at Hera.
Yeah, Tram Pass will give them Mask, Shard, and Hive priority, and they also probably have priority on Nail 3 because they have 200 Essence. If you're playing for Majority, I think you're trying to kill Gillian here for the Essence for...
Oh, we're getting... this is the first time I've actually seen this bench be used.
And we have
I
Staxis.
guess it does make sense.
Yeah, Staxis doing VS Shaman Hornet 2, which is not trivial.
Oh, absolutely not. This is tough. But they're doing it really well.
Yeah. Well, Done goes to pick up Tram Pass.
Very speedy tram pass mark.
Yeah.
Well, not mark, but obtain. And then we're going back down, probably for Nosk. Or just to the bench.
Okay, and Hornet 2 is killed. With that, now showing a lot of pressure on TLBR.
Yeah, I think at this point, as done, you kind of need to go dive as soon as possible to make sure that you
Yeah,
get the
it's
7
definitely
peak.
having to do dive angle. So Staxis now needs 4 goals to win. They have priority on Shade Cloak, Abyss Shriek, and
15 grubs.
and
'cause,
15 grubs.
Yeah, more
Oh.
grubs have been gotten.
Let's see if they go and do Pale Lurker. I think you at least want to
Well.
open the shortcut here. Okay, Dunn has rescued 4 grubs.
And I think Staxis has like 6 or 7.
Yeah, I think they had 8 last time I checked.
Okay.
Maximum statistics. Why are we doing this? Please share the joke. I want to understand.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
Nosk is not the worst possible thing you could be doing at this moment, but it's probably not the first thing I'd be doing either.
Yeah.
Because if I'm Staxis now, I'm rushing 15 grubs and dive.
Yeah, I agree. Did they rescue that grub yet? Okay, we're at 1 health, Staxis. You
Well,
wouldn't
this
die
is
at
fine,
King
it's King
Station
Station.
on 1 health, right? Oh, okay. And Dunn
Not
doing
going to any enemies.
VS Shaman Nosk, which is an awful
Also
fight.
not trivial.
Awful.
I mean, you can get enough double hits to where it's not too terrible, but it's also just not pleasant.
Yeah.
Especially with no wings when it jumps into the ceiling like that.
Okay. Staxis, I think, proceeding to rescue grubs.
We're not going for dive though, so if Dunn realizes this pressure and goes for dive immediately, it's not, it's not impossible to be able to block the line.
I think
That being
Staxis.
said, Staxis
Yeah.
could just be doing this to force 7 grubs in Crystal Peak.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we opened the Mila Lover earlier for the scrub.
We're on
And
2
sad.
HP as well, and we are leaving the room.
Okay, they've rescued a lot of grubs in Crystal Peaks already. I don't know why we're going this way out.
Vengefly grub, I think.
Yeah, grub number 1 from 4MS. I like to call it grub number 1,
Yeah.
as Mr. Sir taught me. Okay, how many?
We're at 8 grubs now.
8 grubs. Okay, so they were at 7 grubs. You're right. Okay, there's some quick grubs in city that we'll see probably. There's this grub, the guarded grub right here.
I believe Staxis is going for dive.
Nope, no guarded grub. Yeah, dive will give them the goals they need to win the game.
Yeah. And, I mean, to be fair, Dunn hasn't marked anything for a while, but I think once Nosk gets marked, it's going to be a huge relief.
Yep. Okay.
There we go. Is the Nosk mark.
Okay, they do have Trampass, so they will be able to leave.
I
Oh,
think
the
Dunn
Pale
just has to
Ore
try
will
to rush
also
15
synergize
grubs.
with Nail 3
Yes.
from Noct. Do they pick it up?
I don't think so, actually.
Okay. That's unfortunate for them. They should definitely be picking it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a blunder. Also, I recommend just picking stuff up, usually,
Yeah.
if you aren't sure.
I think, though, we do need to rush 15 grubs as soon as possible.
That is fair. But you're like, Dunn has to win by a majority at this point. There is no line, so coming back for that Pale Ore is kind of bad. Okay, Staxis.
I hope we're not going for wings. Okay, good.
Yeah. I think they're just leaving. Staxis is, I think, just rescuing grubs. I think they want to lock in 15 grubs before they get hard saved in city.
That's
But,
fair
well,
enough.
never
I
mind.
guess you don't know how many grubs Dunn has.
Yeah, they might
And they
open
just completed Deep Nest.
a play Staxis could do would be just open city storeroom stall and come back later. I don't know what
Well,
they're
Staxis does have City Storm Stag, so
Okay, they do have it. Okay, I missed it. I thought they opened the bench.
I'm fairly certain they got City Storm Stag.
They are rich. Dartmouth.
Oh, we didn't. Okay, never mind.
Okay, we're going to Dartmouth. Is this more grubs? This might be more grubs.
That's true. As Gory said, you can just go back for Noskor. It's just a little bit slow. You have to go through all the rooms again.
Elegant key. Oh, okay.
Shade Soul.
This is for Pale Lurker. This is important.
Ah.
Yeah. Like, we would not
Walk
want to
forward,
attempt
press
Pale
Shade Soul
Lurker
button.
without Shade Soul.
It's impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible.
I think Dunn is going for dive.
Okay. That's good. I think
That's what I hope.
Oh, and they're might
Grubs
be getting
and
some
dive.
grubs. Oh, that's gonna be
5 is gonna, yeah, you're really behind on grubs. Of course, you don't know that, but I would make the assumption that I'm really
Yeah.
behind on grubs if I only have 5.
okay.
I wouldn't have warped out there. I would have gotten the other grub that was close by if I'm rushing 15 grubs.
Dartmouth. I think they're gonna do some grubs in, or they're gonna buy Elegant Key and a Simple Key, or grubs. Those are the options.
Yeah, it looks like grubs. I don't think God Tuner is really a concern.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be fair,
Okay.
Staxis has gotten all of the easy grubs and Dunn has not, so there is that little advantage there.
That's true. So we're gonna get Shade Soul. We'll see
And
if
yeah, Dunn cannot
we're gonna
buy
get
E-Key because Dunn skipped Shopkeeper's Key.
Nope, yeah, can't get Iki for you've essentially locked yourself out of Pale Lurker.
Because it's impossible.
It was impossible without Shade Soul.
That was an orb. Wow, both of those.
Unless you're
orbs.
Levy, actually. Unless you're Levy.
True.
We're taking a lot of damage. Okay, it's dead. Norman 2 is dead. Saxus will be
Norman 2 is
picking up Shade Soul. Did they pick it up?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so.
I didn't see them pick it up, but okay.
I mean, it would
Oh,
be
yeah, I
very
said-
interesting to do that without getting Shade Soul when it's not even a goal on the board. Green Path grub. Don't hate this.
Yeah, Green Path is a good place to get some grubs. I'm
If
just
Dunn gets this 15th grub before Staxis can, then I think Dunn is really back in the game.
yeah, for sure. Oh, and lever is open from earlier. Well, they
9
were
grubs.
okay. Yeah, I can't tell if that's Shade Soul. Yeah,
I
you
don't
didn't
think
pick it up.
is. Yeah, realizing didn't pick it up. Well, we did skip Shade Soul. Very funny, actually.
Yeah,
Well-
I thought they didn't pick it up, but I've been wrong before, so
It's actually not the worst thing to just die here and get Shade Soul. Yeah,
they're
I think
considering
Staxis
it.
is kind of lamenting it.
They're considering it. It's fine, probably.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It does really help Dunn here because can get a whole lot more grubs now.
That's true.
And Soulmaster is significantly slower.
God, oh my goodness. At least you can pick it up on the way back.
We're going all the way up here. Okay, for the corner for grub, yeah.
Yeah.
10. I think we're ahead of Staxis now on grubs.
Yeah, I think they're slightly ahead. I think Staxis will get this grub after picking up dive.
And Dunn is for some reason skipping that grub. The hunter grub.
Yeah, we don't like that grub apparently. It's okay.
But we're getting MMC grub? Okay, I don't know why we skipped hunter grub, but
Yeah. Okay. So
I guess we'll be seeing how many grubs Staxis has here.
pick up the seal probably for nail 3, but yeah, I mean, honestly at this point,
Grubs, yeah.
a little 10 grubs. We're
We
even
have
on
10,
grubs,
so
but Saxis is in
we're about to be
Sanctum.
10v11.
I think I
This is
expect
going to be a very close race, I think.
Saxis is probably just going to head to peaks after this to work on that
Yeah,
7.
there are some pretty good grubs in peak.
Yeah. And also
Okay,
7
where
crystal
is
peak
Dunn going to
grubs
head
are
for
on
some
the
more
board.
grubs? Dartmouth.
It's probably going to be crystal peaks. Well, actually,
Probably.
I don't know where they're going.
Well, then, yeah, you'd go for Crossroads.
Yeah.
We getting grub song for some reason?
I think this grub number 1, maybe, or did they already get these
We've
grubs?
already gotten grub number 1.
Okay,
We haven't gotten acid grub, to be fair.
it might be acid grub into Fog Canyon.
I think I'll actually be really happy if Dunn gets 15 grubs before Staxis does, because then we have way more of a game and it'll be
That's
9
true.
to 9.
That's true. Will we go pick up Shade Soul? We are gonna pick up Shade Soul. They did open the lever,
Good.
so at least they don't have to wait
Okay,
for that.
so Dunn has 12 grubs.
Yeah, we have to pick it up.
Yeah, honestly, I'm really happy with how Dunn has been playing this game. It's
Yeah, they've definitely been playing really well
really
against
good
someone as fast as Staxis. They've been doing quite a bit of lockout practice.
And it looks like we are getting into Crystal Peak. And from memory, Dunn didn't really rescue a lot of Crystal Peak grubs.
Yeah. Okay, Staxis benching before going into Death Key Room.
Don't want to get hard saved at Soul Master.
Yeah. Will they pick up the key? If you're comfortable with it, it's fine.
I
They're
think
also
we should
benched.
because God Tuner, and I think there's a good chance it can come down to it now, especially because Staxis realizes he took a while
That
in Sanctum.
was very interesting for sure.
Yeah. 13, why are we warping out of Peak here? There's a lot of really good grubs in Peak.
Yeah, there's definitely a few more easy ones they could get. I think I
Like,
expect
you have
now.
that whole hub of grubs where Sea Dash is.
I think that's where we're gonna see Staxis head.
Probably. Um,
I think they're
we're
realizing
going
that
back into peak.
we're going back.
Yeah.
Back into peaks. Also, I think if Staxis remembers, they have CG1 killed, so they can just go through that room to get those grubs.
Yes. I don't think it's going to be particularly close on grubs though, because it's 13 versus 10.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and if I was done, I would definitely save this goal. After if when Denmark's 15 grubs, I would definitely save it for later. I wouldn't just stay in peaks. Oh, getting
Yeah,
Pogax twice for Staxis in one game.
That
Really
is
just flexing
incredibly
on all
lucky.
of us.
I wish I could say that Pogax's skill on latest patch, but it's I mean, half of it is, but half of it is gambling.
Yeah. Okay, they're both in the same room.
Yeah, Dunn doesn't have dive.
Yeah, Dunn does
I
not
hope
have
we're not
dive.
going for Mimic Grub. And we're going for Mimic Grub.
That actually...
That could spell disaster.
Yeah,
actually.
see, Staxis could actually go through this. They might be going for Crown or Grub. But they could actually bench CG1 if they wanted to.
Maybe if Dunn is doing this, hopefully he remembers that he hasn't done the oh, we're opening the lever. Hopefully he remembers he hasn't done the spike grub in Crossroads.
Yeah. Okay, Staxis will be collecting. This is an awful grub. Okay.
Yeah, I do hate this grub. It's really hard to get.
11 grubs to
guess we're
14.
going back. Maybe it will be closer than I thought.
So there's 3 grubs in. Okay, so Staxis is probably going to pick up
that are very close.
3 clubs that are very close together, and then D Dark Grub. And then I wouldn't stay in Crystal Peaks if I'm Staxis to get Mimic Grub. I would just quit out as soon as possible and get a Bitstreak. I think a Bitstreak is the right play.
This is going to be very close, actually.
Yeah.
No. You're going to hit CG1.
Yep. So I mentioned earlier that Staxis already has CG1 killed from the goal.
Yeah, you can just C-dash through the room, but you can't if you haven't killed CG1. This is just going to make it even closer.
Yeah. What are we doing? Are we going for Mimic Grub?
Uh-oh, 1 health.
We're healing.
Okay, we're good. Skipping the Geo is a play.
I think they have to.
Maybe. Yeah.
They're at 14 grubs. They don't want to lose this.
You'd be fine. Or you can go for this one.
Yeah, I actually would have liked to see if Staxis is committed to this goal. I would have liked to see G1 bench.
All right, we have 15 grubs, and top left, bottom right is blocked.
Okay, Staxis has not seen it yet. Oh wait, no, but they still need this grub anyway, so they have to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no point. I expect to quit out after this. We do not continue to get D-Dark from at this point. Okay, we're at 14. I don't like... Please don't get D-Dark. I do not like a D-Dark getting D-Dark here.
Well, you don't even have dive. You can't get the grub.
Oh, from Staxis.
Oh, right, from Staxis, yes.
Why would Staxis quit out? Because they've rescued all of the grubs except for the D-Dark grub. Palm. And we have no indication that Dunn has dive. We knew that they were in Deep Nest killing Nosk.
Yeah, I don't like what Dunn is doing here. To be fair, that is kind of biased because, well, we can see both gameplay, but...
Yeah. I guess, yeah, they don't know. Dunn doesn't know that Staxis has dive.
Yeah, though there was a long period of no goals being marked, and you can't assume that 15 grubs takes that long.
Like, maybe their plan is dive next.
Well, Staxis marking 7 grubs and peak is
Mhm.
going to be a good tell.
Yeah, I think maybe Staxis is
Okay,
nervous that
okay.
Dunn does have dive.
Crown grub is good. Crown grub is good. Not crown grub, sorry. Crown ore.
Yeah, Crown Ore is good.
This is fine. So we're going to have 2 pale ores. Well, we're going to have 1 and then 1 available with Nosk.
Okay.
And then 300 essence, I guess, is the play.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get nail 3.
Yeah, they have they basically will have they actually almost have enough money too. I think they probably need some sort of that CG1 money would have actually come in handy around
Yeah.
now. Okay.
Good, done. Whoop straight out.
Yep. 7 grubs, crystal peaks marked. Done knowing how close
we
that
have,
was.
Luckily, priority on Mask Shard and the Hive for done, so row 5 is not scary.
Yeah. Okay. I'd like to see. I don't know where we're going for Staxis. I'd like to see Pale Lurker personally. Now that we have all the necessary prerequisites.
I have a feeling that Dunn is going into Tram Pass or into the tram to go get the Nosk Pale Ore and then go for Mask Shard and Hive.
Yeah, this is a God Tuner play from Staxis.
Oh right, yeah, you can actually get the Pale Ore from Basin here as well.
That's true.
Okay, so you can actually set up Nail 3 here. That's pretty good.
Yeah, actually, I think I would have preferred if they for Nail 3. I guess at this point, 100 essence. They didn't do Galeon earlier, so 100 essence is going to be really annoying to get. So
there is actually a problem, and that is Dunn either needs Abyss or God Tuner.
That's true. Do they actually? Oh, that's true.
Yes.
They need 4 goals to win. I think though Staxis is going to get hard saved at God Tuner, which will be a lot of information for Dunn.
True, but it's not like it takes a Hornet 2 amount of time. I really hope that Dunn's not warping out of this, so I would have liked to see Hornet 2 here from Dunn.
Yeah, I think that's been this whole game is I'd like to see Hornet 2.
Yeah, honestly. There's a chance the Staxis dies to Fluke Mungers, though.
Yeah.
Actually, Nail 3 for Hornet 2 is not terrible. I don't mind that.
Let's D-Dark. We D-Dark here? We D-Dark here?
Okay, yeah. Dunn was checking if they have any relics to be able to afford Nail 3.
Yeah, they needed
See,
that
this is why you should have
CG1
picked
money.
up well,
I understood
we
it at
picked
the
up some
time,
CG1
but
money.
yeah,
I
that would
feel
actually
like
have given
we should have seen the Hellenist Seal in Hera.
That's true. I was also about to mention the Hollowness Seal and Hair that they also skipped. I think I mentioned at the time is you don't need that Hollowness Seal for Nail 3.
Yeah, definitely don't. So God Tuner is officially obtained.
Oh, Jalapeno Joe saying that Staxis doesn't actually have D-Dark. Fair enough, they have Shade Soul.
Yep, after the grub. Unfortunately, we have to go through all of the Nosk stuff again.
Well, they're hard
But at least
saved here. You're hard saved here, Staxis.
Yep.
He's watching
And
the
it's not like
tutorial.
we have enough Geo for Nail 3 or anything.
Yeah, that's true. We don't need D-Dark. Yeah, we already have Shade Soul, so. Okay, Staxis is at 11 goals. I think.
And now just needs Abyss.
Yeah, just needs Abyss. I think we might see like Howling Race into Shade's Cloak, and Dunn might have to snipe that.
100%, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be able to happen.
Yeah, we're going back for that Nosk Pale Ore.
That
The
we
one
should
they
have picked up.
Yeah, I think they must have just been really stressed out. Like, I understand, but it's good to just have a habit of just picking these things up. Sometimes they just come in handy. It's the same way I kind of feel about Essence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have enough Geo, so where are we getting 311 Geo?
They could They could be creative. They don't. Well, I mean, yeah, they don't have probably various things. Grub money, grub money,
True. Grub money.
grub
That will
money.
be enough. I do not know where Staxis is going. Because if I'm Staxis, I'm Helen Wraith, never mind.
Well,
Yeah,
they're hard saved that God Tuner, so
that too.
I think they just need to bench here. I think we're gonna see race.
Yeah. I think it's kind of basically done.
We'll see. We'll see.
No pun
We never
intended.
know what they're gonna do. Queens. Yep, that's a wraith play. That's a wraith play, or let's see. They could decide they want tram pass. Okay. I've been too traumatized as a caster saying that, oh, they're gonna go for this, and then they just do something completely different. Okay, yeah, this is definitely how they're gonna race.
Yep, that's good.
Yeah, they're gonna get
Nail 3, hopefully Hornet 2 after Nail 3.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
I think it's a bit too little too late.
Yeah, I think so. The problem is that if Staxis gets Howling Race, they're right next to Shade Cloak. If somehow they get delayed to Howling Race and Denmark Shade Cloak, then Staxis is like, great, you're at Shade Cloak. I can just go do Pale Lurker. I have Shade Soul.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we unfortunately don't really have time for Nail 3, as Kara's saying. We should have done Hornet 2, I think, before going for all those Pale Ores.
Yeah.
Because we did have priority.
We did know they were stuck at God Tuner. Okay. Staxis is so relieved to see that mark because they have no progress towards Nail 3 at all.
Yeah.
They don't have any money, Pale Ore, Essence, or anything. Well, actually, never mind. They do have 200 Essence. They do have 200 Essence.
Going to Mass Shard on the Hive? I think maybe Dunn does realize that this is over and is just wanting to get a goal.
Yeah, I think that's the case. I think. Yeah, you're not. I think they're trying to make it look as close as possible.
Yeah.
Simply don't say when you think they're going to do. Just say what you want them to do, and then you can't be wrong. True.
True.
Yes. Okay, well, Staxis has race. So, yeah, a big streak is about to be marked, and Dunn will know that the end is coming.
Yeah.
Unless Staxis dies on repeat during the sibling climb, which has never happened in the bingo ever.
Well, Staxis is used to sibling climb because they have called a Shade Cloak world record. So.
Oh, true. Okay. Yeah, I agree with Overclock. They want a full board.
Well, I don't think we're getting Pale Lurker before we get Abyss Shriek and Shade Cloak marked.
Oh, well, we're getting Hive, so Dunn will get a moral victory.
True. Wingless Hive. It's tough. As is shown by this.
Yeah, I think this is a reasonable by Dunn for sure. I think Dunn has to hope he snipes 2 or 3 times in a row. I know, but Palm, like, Staxis has Hornet 2 marked.
Yeah, and there's 11 goals.
Yeah.
Like, yep. And now it's over, basically.
Yeah, Palm, it's a goal. Like, they know that. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, Palm. That's fair. I understand. We aren't just making this up for fun.
Actually, a very good game.
Yeah, it's been a fun game for sure. And now, okay. So the clawless Shade Cloak world record holder.
Using claw? Wow. Can't believe this.
Sibling climbs always make me really nervous.
Yeah, especially without wings, because it is actually kind of scary. There we go. Now we get up.
And well done, mark one more goal.
I think it's a bit too late.
Yep. And that should be match for Staxis.
Yep.
Both runners played really well.
Really good fight.
Let's check and see if the players are wanting interviews.
Yeah, looks like they do.
Great. Perfect. Okay. Well, Dragon Staxis first. Congratulations. You played very well.
Thank you.
Well, okay. Well, we had a few mishaps along the way.
Perhaps more than a few.
A few.
Has anyone ever done that at Shadesoul before?
I've
is there
never
a
seen
single other
anyone-
recorded instance.
I've never seen that before either.
I've never seen that before.
I was so confused when I got to Soul Master.
Yep.
I was actually convinced that you did have it, but Alyssa was
I
saying,
was like,
"No,
I don't think
no,
they
I don't
picked it
think you
up,
did."
and then you proceeded not to use any Vengeful Spirit until Soul Master. So I was just waiting for that, and I'm like, nope, they didn't pick it up. It was very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Very well could have been the reason you didn't get 15 grubs as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely it was definitely an interesting thing. I think any other comments on the game? Like, were you worried about row 3?
Gotten Shade Cloak on my first, or Shade Soul on my first Sanctum trip. That was so punishing for the whole match.
Yeah. Okay. Let's drag in Dunn to talk about it also. Wait, wrong person. Okay, Dunn. You played very well. Any thoughts on the match?
I had a really bad early game.
I didn't think your early game was that
It honestly
bad.
wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
I don't think it was that bad.
You got first try E-Pogo, a really good Mantis Pogo. I think you missed Man Pogo, but I think that was like...
Yeah. I mean, I think actually my mid game was worse. I had the death at storerooms.
Yes, the famous key room
that was
death.
unfortunate.
Yeah, that we saw. That was definitely... Like, I'm like, this is a death. You're going in on 2 health.
So the thing is, I was thinking I just need to pick the simple key up and then that's it.
Yeah.
But that wasn't. I should have fired fireball. I think I had one.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
unfortunate.
I think you did as well.
Before going to storerooms, I thought about getting the Sly simple key. I didn't want to do the spike tunnel because I'm pretty bad at it, which I need to practice. But I thought about getting the Sly simple key because it's much faster, but I didn't want to be really short on Geo, so
Mhm.
I
Yeah, and you
didn't.
did buy Nail 3, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
And
another
that-
eventful thing was the row 3 at the beginning.
Mm,
Wait, was your plan to pressure row 3 done?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I had a pretty... I mean, I didn't have a terrible early game, but I knew Staxis was probably having a better one. So I thought instead of going for a more traditional early game, I would rush Great Slash and the other row 3 goals, and I think that worked pretty well.
Yeah, I mean,
really
I think
happy
that is
with
pretty
them.
traditional. Like,
I actually really liked your play of getting the Green Path Toll
Yeah.
with Green Path Stag, because, I mean, that toll is, like, actually not that bad to get.
you got
It's
did
only
you get
50 Geo.
Green Path at the start and
Yeah, I did.
get
Yeah.
Queens as your 6th toll.
no.
No,
No,
sixth toll
Dun did a...
was-
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
done.
sorry, okay.
Yeah.
The bench toll in Green Path.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
After
Queen's
Great
sixth
Slash, they
was
picked up
the
that
lesser
toll.
one.
Oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you do either of you have any other comments on the match?
I do want to say that I saw a lot of people say like near the end that I had to go for Hornet 2 or dive, and I knew that
Yeah.
I don't really have a chance to get them before Staxis does, so I just
Yeah.
tried to fail the
Yeah.
board more.
Yeah, that's I think we were just saying, yeah, you're probably just trying to fill out the
Fill out
board.
the board,
Yeah.
I think
Make
if
it
you
look
maybe
And the
had
moral
done
victory
Hornet
of
2
doing
before
Hive, of
going for
course.
Nail 3, yeah, I think if
Sure.
you'd done Hornet 2 before Nail 3 after you saw the God Tuner mark, it might have been possible, but I'm not 100% sure.
It would have been rough still.
I was considering it. I
Mhm.
should have gone for Hornet 2 much earlier. So the thing is, when Staxis marked, I don't remember which goal it was. I think it was Hornet 2. I was certain they would go for Shade Cloak, so I tried to block top left, bottom right by going for
Yeah.
15 grubs. But then I realized pretty late that they're actually getting 15 grubs, and I thought that going for Shade Cloak
You did
now
manage to
would have
snipe
moved
on
them
it. It
to
was
the-
Yeah.
actually pretty close.
Yeah, it was pretty close. I think Saxus had 13 grubs when you marked it.
Yeah.
Something like
They
that.
were on their 13th grub.
I forgot a lot of grub locations, and I also accidentally warped in Crystal Peak instead of damaging.
Yeah, we did see
You
that.
also accidentally fought Crystal Guardian 1.
That
Oh
was
yeah, I didn't know that happens.
yeah.
Yeah, in
That really
future,
scared me.
please don't see dash through that room. PSA, please don't see dash through that room unless you've killed CG1.
Noted.
Yeah, that's happened more than once at this tournament. Anyway, any other comments? Or any other thoughts on the match? Or
Well, I guess with Hera, like, it was very close to Staxis entering and getting
yes,
the hard save.
Staxis, all your mishaps with Love Key actually paid off because you just didn't get hard saved in Hera.
Yeah, I think if you succeeded, like, 2 tries earlier, you would have gotten the hard save.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
I didn't have the money yet for DV Stag either, because I was planning to kill Devouts for it. So
Yeah.
it would have been very, very slow.
Yeah, that would have been really rough. Yeah. Anyway, good match, you all. Done. You will enter the losers bracket. And Staxis, I have to look up who you're playing next. But I'm sure it will be a really good match. Also, shout out to Marcus for being the tournament helper for this match. It's always very hard to find people who are willing to help sometimes.
Staxis is playing against Levi in the next match.
Staxis will be playing against Levi. So the pale lurker goat.
Good luck, both.
We really appreciated you getting Shade Soul. We thought you might be going for pale lurker afterwards instead of dive. We weren't
Yeah,
sure.
Pale Lurker is one of the things I was.
Yeah, you need Shade Soul for
looking
that.
at. And I knew I was going to get yelled at if I tried to go for Pale Lurker without Shade Soul.
Of course.
Well, you get yelled at by Alyssa, but I think
Well,
Levi would be happy.
That's true. Okay.
It would just be Pale Lurker copy pasta nonstop.
It would be. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. There should be a match tomorrow. I'm not sure what time, or check the Hollow Knight website schedule for the bracket and also the match schedule in your time zone. Talk to you all later. I'm going to end stream now.